Hello, my name's Ashley from Paper and Twine. Welcome if you're new here. I'm a little bit nervous. This is my very first collab video, so please be kind to me, especially if you're new to me. This is week one of the Spring and Mother's Day collab 2021, co-hosted by Patty with Life with Patty and Kathy from Kathy's Favourite Things. I know Kathy, I've been subscribed to her for a little while, but I must confess that there are a number of ladies in this collab that I need to go and check out, and I hope that you will go and check out the projects that they've done as well. And I will leave all of the details of their channels in the description box below. So week one is to create a Memdex on the theme of spring or Mother's Day, and I thought we'd quickly make one together because I was intimidated by Memdex cards. Did you just see that little ant? Don't know where he's come from. Anyway, I have been a bit intimidated by Memdex cards. They're not a huge popular thing over here in the UK like they are in America. But basically your card blank needs to be 4 inches across by 3¼ inches deep, and you can get dies that cut the shape and cut out the holes. I don't have a die, a Memdex die, so I've made my own little holes and slots here. But I thought we would just use a gorgeous paper pad and make one that could be suitable for Mother's Day. So I have one of my favourite paper pads here. I haven't cut into this, it's quite new, from Stamperia, and it is Imagine. So I'm hoping there's going to be some images with a nice female face on that could be perfect for Mother's Day. So let's have a look. Obviously we need to keep our size in mind. That's too big. Those are not what I'm looking for. Beautiful, but not what I'm looking for on this occasion. Again, these are lovely. A little bit more autumnal in colour, I think, perhaps than spring-like. That's gorgeous, isn't it? And I love all this layered stuff here, but it's not what I'm looking for on this occasion. Now that could be a possibility, but I think it's slightly too deep to fit on my page, and I'm going to lose her neck and her profile there. Beautiful, but background paper, not what we're looking for. No, lovely again, but now here we have some lovely faces. That is rather nice and would fit quite nicely, as would that actually, and as would that. So I like all of these. So I'm carefully going to tear this out. I don't want to spoil any of the other papers. Oh. Let's have a look. So I know that I want the width of my image to be 3 7/8 of an inch, because I like to leave a little black border all the way round my work. It's kind of one of my signature styles if you're new to me. And I think if we cut that to that line there, that's going to be just about right, and I can save that for something else. So I'm going to just pause you while I cut this. So I've gone ahead and cut that down, and it gives me a lovely border all the way round. So I'm going to go and stick that down now. But look at this loveliness on this side. This is the thing with the Stamperia papers. There's that ant again. You only get 10 sheets, one of each design, in a paper pad, and they're double-sided, but it's hard to know which side to use because it's all so lovely. Yeah, so I just thought I'd do this quickly because I was really intimidated by making a Memdex card, and I just want to show you that really it is very, very simple. So yeah, oh, that's how not to do it. So I'm using a glue called Collal. I don't know whether it's available in the States, but it is my go-to glue here in the UK. It gives you what we call wiggle room, so you can move your card around and straighten it up. And it also adds strength to your projects. So we just need to embellish this a little bit now, because it's got all the beauty in this paper. We don't really want to spoil the paper by adding too much more to it. One of the things that I like to do is use words. I've got these vintage French English pocket dictionaries that I bought in a charity shop. And I'm going to look to see if I can find the word mother. I might already have used it, in which case... Got motor. Yes, I've used mother. Let's do woman. See if we can find woman. Wobble? We don't want wobble, do we? Woman. There we go. So we're going to tear this out carefully, because I don't want to spoil the definition. This is just one of the things that I like to do. And to help get a torn edge with paper, I go around the edge with a wet brush. But I'm just going to cut out the bit that I want first. So I want woman. And cut about there. Cut there, and oh, there's wolf there. I might want that for another thing, but no, I think we're going to sacrifice it. So I've cut out my little word there that I want to use. I'm just going to use my water brush just to save having a pot of water on my desk, because I have got a cat, for those of you that don't know me, and she's just sitting on the windowsill at the moment, but she does have a habit of jumping on my desk. And obviously I don't want to have a pot of water knocked over, particularly when I'm filming. So I'm just painting the edge of that. This vintage paper is quite sturdy, so it takes a little bit of tearing, and I haven't given myself a lot of room. There we go. It just helps break down the fibres of the paper a little bit. Yeah, she's sitting on the windowsill, is my cat. She's called Blue, and she's barking at the birds. We've got a tree outside, and she's just guarding our territory and barking at the birds. There we go. And just this bottom line now. And then find somewhere to stick it. There we go. I'm fairly new to YouTube. I've only really been doing crafty videos since January, so it'd be lovely if you went and checked me out. I think I'm going to put that there so it doesn't detract too much from the other bits and pieces. And I've got a little glue pen here because I don't want lots of glue everywhere. And if you don't get all the edges stuck down, it doesn't matter because it adds a little bit of texture. There we go, and adds another little layer to our piece. And then I want to add something that is another little thing I like to do. This little flower here, I want to add a little bit of dimension to it. So I'm going to add some little gold micro beads to it. If you haven't got micro beads, you could use stickles or little tiny Nouveau drops. I'm going to hope that this glue comes out. It's a new glue, and it's proving a little bit difficult, so I want to add a bit of glue here. I've got an air bubble in it. I'll just pause you while I sort that out. So I've just added a little bit of glue here, and you need to be careful with micro beads. They go everywhere, So I'm going to try not to get too many and tap off the excess. I'm just going to push those in a little bit, but they add a nice little vintage element to our card. Look, you see I've spilt those everywhere now. What you get with me on my channel is how not to do things. I'm not a professional. I am just an ordinary crafter. And oh look, I don't want to waste anything, you see. I like to keep every little bit. So there is the basis of our Memdex card, and it really hasn't taken very long to do. We've chosen our paper. That was the most complicated thing. Found my little dictionary definition of woman, which I think is perfect for Mother's Day, and isn't that a beautiful face? What I'm going to do is just finish off the bottom here and do something on the back so that I can put my details on there if I send this to somebody. And that's another reason why I've put the word woman rather than mother, because it'll be a bit more my cat wants to be let out. It'll be a bit more versatile. So I'll be back in a minute, and I'll also show you the other Memdex cards that I've made. So it's the work of minutes really just to finish this off. So here's the front of our Memdex card. I might at a later date just put something here just to, you know, make that look a little bit more interesting. But this is the focal point of our Memdex card. So we've used a tiny bit of an 8x8 sheet because I just so don't want to use it. Do you get like that with your papers? So yeah, I've got that of my little bit of my 8x8 left. There was a little bit that I cut off the top of this image, which I'll show you in a minute. But you saw me attempt to put the glue on, and I've put some micro beads there for the centre of that flower. We've cut the word woman out of a vintage dictionary, and then I've punched a hole in the corner here and put a bulb pin in, although this is actually a knitting stitch marker, and I've put some beads from this little pot of beads that I've had in my stash a very long time. Yeah, I thought this little bit of pink picked up nicely on the lipstick, and then I've chosen colours that blend. So that's the front of that Memdex card, and then I guess they flip it, and then this will be where I put my details. So there was a little slither of paper that I cut off the edge of that, and I couldn't bear to throw it away, so I've just put it as a little bit of decorative strip on the bottom of this, which was an A4 sheet of paper that I've gone in and picked up off my craft mat oxide inks and distress inks in Scattered Straw, Pumice Stone, and there's a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer Pixie Powders, which is a metallic powder, in Mango Haze. And I've just chosen a bit that I like, gone around the edge with Gathered Twigs Distress ink. So that is our first Memdex card on the theme of Mother's Day. Yeah. And I'll show you the other Memdex cards I've made now. I couldn't stop, so I'll talk you through these. This is one of my favourite stamps. As I said, I don't have a Memdex die, but one of my YouTube friends, the lovely Angie Beaumont, gifted me some that she had cut out using the die that she's got. It's slightly shorter than 3 1/4, and I've glued some layers together to give it a little bit more sturdiness, shall we say. So this is one of my favourite stamps that I've stamped onto one of my backgrounds that I've just showed you using different colours of distress ink. And then this is the same stamp stamped onto shrink plastic and glued on with Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue, which dries clear so you can't see it. loving heart, she dreamed beautiful dreams, because mothers, we dream of our children doing well for themselves and being safe and happy, don't we? And then I've just used a stamp that I like a lot for a little bit of interest on the background there. And then this is a rookie error here. I used a strip to make a pocket so I can put my details in there, and stamped just the eyes on another bit of my background, but it's upside down to all intents and purposes, because when you flick this in front of you, that should be, the eyes should be facing me, not facing you. So there's that. Then I did a couple of spring themed ones, and I did my first bit of napkin art. So from a local supermarket, Sainsbury's is a big supermarket in the UK. I bought this set of napkins, which has got these gorgeous sheep images on it. And I've also made a series of ACTs using these gorgeous little sheep. So again, using the bases that Angie sent me, these were bright green, and I knocked the colour back a bit by putting some white acrylic, leaving that to dry, tore a portion of the sheep image and stuck it on with Mod Podge. A little tiny bit of one of my backgrounds that I'm famous for, if you watch my channel, with a butterfly punch, a little scrap of paper with a little dragonfly punch, and the word grow, because spring is all about rebirth, isn't it, and things growing. And I just thought the little lamb, you know, it's an iconic sight in the UK to see sheep. You know, it's a real sign of spring in the UK. And then I've gone in and used a Lavinia stencil. This is Pebbles, with a little bit of mowed lawn distress ink, just for a bit of texture for the sheep to stand on. And then I've grounded them with a little bit of gathered twigs. Put the word smile, because spring, I think, is a time of happiness for a lot of us, isn't it, when we start seeing spring flowers. And then I shall put my details on the back. And then I did another one in that series, so a different portion of the stencil. I found the word sheep in my dictionary, put the word joy there. Truth be told, I tried to stamp onto this some flowers, but because it had got Mod Podge on it, the stamp went very smudgy, so I've used a different stamp and just torn a portion of it to cover that mistake up. And I've gone in with a different Lavinia stamp, which is, this one is Glory, to kind of mimic some grass going on there. And again, you've got the adorable little lamb and a little pink butterfly for a pop of colour. And then I've stamped some flowers on the back. Those were the flowers that I'd stamped on the front that smudged, and I've just gone around the whole edge with distress ink in mowed lawn again, and then this space there for me to stick my details. I type them. And then finally, this is my favourite one. I've only made one Memdex card, and that was for a lady called Brenda here on YouTube. And this is a replica of one that I made for her. And it's using, again, Stamperia paper, the gorgeous forest. I love this so much. I'm going to have to get another pad of it. But you've got just beautiful images, quite autumnal. But I've chosen some bits that remind me of spring. So one of the things that reminds me of spring is seeing birds again. And this is a gorgeous little blue tip stamp that I've had in my stash for a very long time from a company called Craftwork Cards. And I've stamped that onto one of my backgrounds, which I've made using Brushos in different shades of green. I don't know whether you can see the speckles there. It's something that I really, really like. And then I've put little birds safe in their nest, because in the spring obviously the birds are building their nest. So this is a little tag that I've cut out of the paper pad, and I've raised it up and put a little bit of twine with a little bell on it, and I've kind of adhered the portion with the blue tip on to look as if the bird is looking into the nest. Then on the back, I'm just going to cover up my address. I've put my details and used a portion of paper, but there is also a little tag in the raspberries. I think they're raspberries. There might be blackberries, but I think they're raspberries. There's a little tag, and on the back I've put, apart from paper crafting, I love knitting, fibre crafts and jewellery making. I love this paper from Stamperia. So I might actually keep this for myself. And then the twine that I've used on this tag is vintage French linen, and I've put a little silver bead there. So quite a long video for my first collab video, but I hope you enjoyed making a Memdex with me and seeing what I've made. Do please go and check out the other ladies' projects. We'll be back next week with another spring and Mother's Day themed project for you. And yeah, if you don't know who I am, please feel free to go and check out my channel. I'd love to meet some more crafty people, and I hope you've enjoyed my first collab. And thanks to Kathy and Patty for hosting this. Thanks very much now. Bye.